Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm happy to have a special guest coming on to talk and help me out with this because he's going to have to keep me in check today because sometimes I get a little, hot under the collar with some of these topics here. We're going to be talking about the latest debate with John Deaton and Elizabeth Warren, and Joe from Trade Intuition is here
What's
in
going
the
on,
house.
guys?
How's it going today, my friend?
Going good. It's a bit chilly. Oh my gosh, it's a bit chilly.
I know the temperatures like dropped off crazy, right?
Oh yeah,
Like we went from that not bad fall until like,
yeah. I was really surprised. Really surprised.
man. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. We're inching closer to the weekend, inching closer to Crypto on the Rocks tomorrow night. So hopefully everybody will be joining us for that. And although Joe said he can't join this week, so I am sad about that, Joe.
Yeah,
That's
next
just,
week, hopefully next week.
all
This
right.
week I got stuff.
That's okay. I get it, man. Yeah, you're preaching to the proverbial choir here, man. All right, let's see who's in the house. Chris Hanley, first in the house this morning. Appreciate you being here, Chris. Good morning, sir. But what I as always, I want to start out with a quick look at the markets, and feel free, Joe. I'm just going to kind of skim down maybe the top 25, 50, depending on how quick we get through it. But jump in with whatever 2 cents you got, because I know you're in this, living and breathing this like literally 24/7 here. So
Yes.
let's get that up here. There we go. And let's put up the not financial advice, because you know how that goes. So where are we? 67, 265 on Bitcoin. I mean, didn't it hit 68 and got rejected? Did I miss that, or am I wrong?
For Bitcoin, yeah, it hit all-time high, a 1 hour high at 68.3.
Okay. So I guess all things being equal, I wouldn't call that necessarily a rejection. That's less than just about a grand. That's nothing for Bitcoin, I guess.
Right.
All right, Ethereum at 2612. Not bad. And if you're looking at the like 7 days on these, look, Bitcoin's up over 10%. Ethereum 9.5%. Zipping down to BNB, because I love BNB, up almost 5% at 594. So a lot of green in the market today, all things being equal.
Right.
And Solana, I don't know if automatic beats is in the house or not, but we'll go check in a minute here. At Solana up 10%, 152.96. I mean, what are you gonna do? You gotta call it where it is. A lot of this stuff is moving up. XRP 55 cents, only 2.5% up over the week. All the ones I'm giving you, the ups or downs or whatever, is 7 days. Doge 12 cents, up 15.5%. I mean, meme coin mania, Tron looking pretty strong. I'll tell you, I know I stop here, and a lot of people are like, what the hell are you stopping at Tron for? Again, you don't got to like Justin Sun, but you got to respect if the blockchain is working and doing its job. And Tron, I mean, tell me I'm wrong, Joe, but I mean, I don't know. Tron's doing its job, if you ask me.
Yeah. For me, I love using the Tron network. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's fast. It's inexpensive. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. And that's what most people want. They want those two things: it to be fast and nothing like Ethereum. Ethereum's great, and that's why last season BNB exploded because of all the transactions that we were able to do with BNB, and it went from a few dollars to a few $100s, and it, as far as the coin.
Yeah, and the gas fees were like nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
And that's one thing too. When using the MetaMask or MetaMask in a swap, whichever, and you're doing these meme coins or these coins that they might do something, but you're paying $50 to buy it and then another $80 to sell it because now the market's getting crazy.
Exactly.
And at that time, BNB was like 1 cent for the transaction fees. Like,
yep, and Ethereum was through the roof. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep going here. We've got a lot to get through. Time coin looking pretty good, up 3%, 520. Cardano 34, almost 35 cents, up 3.5, just under 3.5%. Avalanche, AVAX, I like AVAX, 7%, 27.69, not bad. Sheeb up almost 6%. What else we got? BCH again. Use your Bitcoin Cash, save your Bitcoin, up over 14%. Link, another one I like. I like Link. I
Yes.
think they're gonna do great in this cycle. $11, but even at this, to me, this is still half off the price of Link, even though it's up 5%.
Oh yeah.
My opinion. My opinion. Again, like it says right below me. Not financial advice. Old guy interwebs. But but facts to me are the facts. There's automatic beats in the house. Welcome,
There he
sir.
is.
Appreciate you getting here. And yes, we'll put this right on up here, even though we're past Solana there. Yeah, so to the moon. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, let's keep zipping along here so we can get to what we started to talk or came here to talk about today. What else? Uniswap. I'll tell you what, Uniswap is looking mighty strong, even though it's one of the few things that are down almost 7.5% today. But still, I don't know. Am I missing something, Joe? That's still a great price for Uniswap.
Yeah, we were just talking about that one yesterday. It's all these dexes. They're gonna do well again, in my opinion. But yeah, I love Uniswap, and I think they're gonna do well. But yeah, right now it's a still. All these coins right now are stills. So yeah, that's one of them.
Yep. Litecoin, again, I like Litecoin, what it's meant to be. I use it to pay for my VPN, so they don't need to know who the hell I am. They just send them Litecoin. And I save my Bitcoin. 12% up. And yeah, I'll take that. What else we got here? Pepe up 10%. I'm gonna zip real quick here just to kind of cast, but we got to stop there. Another one that's few on the red side here, over 6.5% down for the last 7 days. Any thoughts about this one, Joe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people will want to start buying it once it's up 55%. But me personally, I don't have any Caspa. I know everybody loves Caspa. I have
Yes.
a bunch of buddies that do deep dives on Caspa, and this is one coin that I do need to get. But I won't be waiting until it's up 55%. Hopefully, I can get it in the next month or two. But we'll see.
Exactly. Well, it's still riding just barely over 10 cents. I get you.
Yeah.
XMR, Monero. Again, I've been saying it, I think, all year. I think privacy coins are going to be huge come 2025, especially if, speaking of elections, some certain people get elected. But right now, considering this thing is pretty much off every centralized exchange, looking pretty good at 154.54, up just about 2%. What else we got here? Stellar. I've given up on Stellar. Well, no, I lie. I haven't given up on it, but I just like it's become a stable coin to me, even though it's up 5.5%.
Right.
Let's go a couple more here. With
Is up 10%. Yep. Another meme coin. Another meme coin.
Yeah, exactly. Aave, again, I don't use Aave anymore, but I like Aave, 154.70. And to me, if you ask me, that's a great buy for Aave, even though it's up just over 9%. Do you use Aave, Joe?
No.
No. Okay. I used to back in the day, to be honest, back like 3-4 years ago now. Anyway, Filecoin, $3.68, even though it's up over 5%. I'm sorry. Goodbye for Filecoin, if you ask me. Render, one of those you can vote for us to dollar cost average into on Crypto on the Rocks tomorrow night. Make sure you're there, 7 p.m. Eastern. Up almost 3%, $5.25. Looking pretty good. And that, you know what? We're going to call it there. We're at around 50. We're going to call it there and then get into what it is we're supposed to be actually chatting about right now. I mean, it's election season, and I know not everybody. I do have a contingent that watch from Massachusetts, and I know not everybody, pays attention to specific state races. But I mean, this one has Elizabeth Warren in it, and I don't care if you're in the crypto space, you know who Elizabeth Warren is. Because she's amassing her anti-crypto army. Although it's going to be interesting as we're watching this section of the debate, how all of a sudden it's not so much an anti-crypto army anymore, in my opinion. I don't know. Did you happen to watch the? I'm sorry. Go
Yes,
ahead,
I
Joe.
did. Oh man, I watched it, and she's like, "Well, I don't understand," or "I don't." And it's like, it was pretty clear the question, but anyway, I do have a question. Can convicted felons vote? I don't know.
The
Can they
the
vote?
an- the answer is supposed to be no. But these days, I mean, you don't have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. So
That's
who
what
the
I
hell
was just
knows?
gonna say.
You
Yeah,
know?
because back in the day, I remember, convicted felons could not vote, and then here we're actually we're begging them to come into the United States so that they can vote because they know they're going to lose. So,
Well, only certain people are bringing
right,
are wanting them in here. Yeah. Hey, Tech Man.
Techman P,
Appreciate you
what's up,
being
buddy?
here all the way from Vegas. Appreciate you, man. Uh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect, Tech Man. That's perfect. Appreciate it. All right, let's bring up the first thing. So, basically, during the debate, there was about a 8-9 minute section regarding cryptocurrency, and they go back and forth a bit. And I want to obviously put in my proverbial two satoshis as we go along here. But again, I think it's important to see and listen to this particular debate when we're talking about 2024 being a cryptocurrency election. Again, we've heard it on the federal stage with Trump and even Kamala the other day, Kamala, whatever the hell her name is, putting, she wants a regulatory framework and all this kind of other stuff. But again, I think a lot of this needs to start at the state level. And yes, in this case, this will bring it to the federal level because it's a, senator sitting in DC representing Massachusetts here at this point. But even bringing it down to local and state level politics. So, all right, let me bring up this first one right here, which is and again, links to all this in the description. Links to all this in the description. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. Now, I will say this. I mean, if you've watched any of the like presidential debates, that kind of thing, the moderators aren't necessarily the most unbiased people. But I will say this. I actually appreciated these two moderators. I thought they did a good job. I thought they were fair. I thought they gave equal time to both candidates, and they asked reasonable questions and allowed for good
Responses.
debate and answers. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm with it. These guys weren't bad. All right. So let's start it off. This is the beginning of it, and like I said, we'll break in between and we'll put in our 2 cents.
Welcome back to the WBZ Boston Globe U.S. Senate debate. John Keller alongside Victoria McGrain of the Globe. Mr. Deaton, you'll go first on this one. You two take a very different view of the cryptocurrency industry. Senator Warren says she wants to build a, quote, anti-crypto army to rein in what she calls crypto's threat to financial stability, consumer protection, climate,
They're
and
afraid.
You have criticized her and federal authorities for what you claim is overly aggressive regulation of crypto. What's the right balance? 1 minute.
Well, listen, I want everyone to know when I found Bitcoin, I thought of my mom because my mom was on welfare and food stamps and she couldn't keep a bank account because she couldn't keep the minimum balance and the bank would hit her with the predatory fees and we needed that money. And then she had to go to the check cashing stores that you see in the hood and they would charge her a fee. My mom would beg them, please, can you take less so that we have the money for food? And then when I went to college and I would send her money from college, I used Western Union and Western Union would take 15%. It made a difference. So when Bitcoin came, I was like, great, you can cut out the predatory banks and the middlemen and the MoneyGrams and Western Unions, and you could help unbanked people like my mom. But the better question here is for Senator Warren. With illegal immigration bankrupting this state, with inflation pricing regular people out of economy, with a debt crisis where 40% of the people don't have $500 in case of an emergency, with foreign wars taking place, why did this senator wake up one day and say, with all that, I'm going to build an anti-crypto army because crypto's so important to her? That's a question that she needs to answer.
Okay, I'm just going to stop that for a second because there's a bunch to unpack there as far as I'm concerned. Hold on, let me change the screen here a little bit, see if we can. I don't know. Hold on. How about that? Oh shit! Then you disappear. I'm sorry, Joe. I wasn't trying to do that. I don't know. I'm just messing it all up right now. I shouldn't be driving, obviously.
There it is.
Listen, two things I want to point out, and then I'll let you rant for a minute if you've got something you want to throw in there. One, I love the fact that he brought this personal story up with regard to the fees with the banks and how it affected him when he was younger, and Western Union, because I can't stand Western Union for the fees. They're freaking outrageous. So that makes good sense to me. And I think it personalizes Bitcoin to people who may not have heard Bitcoin or crypto to that were watching this debate, my opinion. And then secondly, I love the fact that he frames that question, not that she'll answer it, but it frames that question of, with all the world burning down the way it is, why are you focusing on this? And so I think it was good, his initial response. What say you, sir?
But the thing is, I mean, he said it from straight out of the gate. They are afraid. They're afraid because it's gonna disrupt the financial system. Because we rely on banks, we rely on the government. But with crypto or Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, it's person to person. It's back in the days of bartering. If I have something, you want to buy it, well, I can just sell it to you, and there's no government involved, no taxes, no land taxes, no sales tax, and then at the end of the year you have to pay tax on what you earned. It takes all that away, and that's what they're afraid of, because with $1, if I have, let's just say magically I get $1 and then I give it to you, well, I have to pay taxes on that dollar. You have to pay taxes because you received $1. Then when you go and you buy something, they have to pay taxes on it. Then when they have to claim that on their taxes, they have to pay. So that $1, I mean, it just keeps on going. Like how many times can $1 go? Infinite. So that's what they're afraid of. That they're afraid of what crypto is doing, and they thought that and you'll hear it too, as far as the drug lords and everything else. Like, we have that problem with the cash, with fiat. So
she's going to mention that here in a minute. And you know what? Exactly. He should have pushed her on, well, let's go fiat. Hello. Right. That's the main thing. All right. I'm gonna throw her back up here. And Joe, just so you know, I'm noticing my internet starting to glitch out again as usual. So just feel free, jump in when you got to.
Yeah, I will.
All right, here we go. Let's keep this thing going.
Thank you, Senator. 1 minute.
So look, I'm fine. People want to buy and sell crypto. That's great. I just want to make sure that crypto has.
Okay, I just got to stop right there. Since when?
Yeah.
Since when is she fine with it?
She's only fine with it if it can be regulated, and if they can, and regulation, that means taxed. If I can tax you just like fiat, if I can tax you on the buys and the sells, and every time they buy, every time they sell, yeah, I'm fine with it. That's what she's saying. But
and she's going to get into that a little bit, where she talks about, I want it regulated, blah, 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 because you want to control it and tax it. You're right, Joe. I agree. But it's funny, from anti-crypto army,
I'm fine with it.
So I'm fine with it if people want to buy and sell it.
Right.
Please, flip-flopper. Anyway.
To follow the same rules as every bank, every stockbroker, every credit union, and that is some consumer protection laws and some laws to make sure that it's not open for terrorists and drug traffickers and human traffickers in Iran. So that's what I want. But I want to be really clear about what's really at issue here. And that is, who are you going to represent in Washington? There's one candidate standing here who gets 90% of the funding to keep their campaign going from one industry, the crypto industry. One candidate who has said quite openly that his personal worth is 80% tied up in crypto. Look, people of Massachusetts know me. You know I fight for everybody, fight for working people. If John Deaton has a chance to go to Washington, his crypto buddies are going to want a return on their investment. He's going to be there to fight for crypto.
Rebuttals.
Okay. Now he's going to come back
fighting for crypto.
Well,
what is so bad about crypto? That's the question I would ask. Okay, you don't like crypto. Why? Why is it so bad? Oh, because children laundering and all this other. It's done by fiat.
Yes, U.S. dollar. Yep. Yep.
That's one question I would ask. Why do you not like it? What
Well,
makes it so bad?
she keeps harping back throughout this interview on what's the ROI? What are they going to want? You want to know what? Okay, here we go. Get me going. You know what we want? We want common sense crypto regulation. We want a stop to choke point 2.0. We want to stop to all this regulation through enforcement action from the SEC. So basically, we want the government to do nothing at best and give us common sense regulation at worst. So that's the ROI I want. Basically, she took an industry that has between 50 and 80 million people in the United States and has been poking that bear and then wonders why we fight back.
I love how she kind of twisted, where first she brings up, she sets the foundation. Oh, well, crypto, it has, all these drug lords and all these, bad people. And then, oh, and you're funded 80 or 90%, whatever she said. And then you personally have 80% in crypto. Once he gets in, they're going to want to return. So that's like saying, oh, well, if he gets elected, these bad people who do all these bad things with this bad fiat money, which is crypto, they're going to want him to maybe pass laws or something to do like evil, corrupt stuff. No, it's so that we're getting away from the banks. And that's how they make all their money. And then when the banks do go down, ooh, my blood pressure medicine needs to kick in. But when the banks do, get in trouble, who's there to back them out? Government.
Yeah, the feds. Exactly.
Yeah,
and 100 Air in the house. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Appreciate that.
What's up, buddy?
And yes, indeed, we trust. I love it. Listen, he does bring that around at the end, and I'm not trying to jump ahead to this interview, but he does bring that around at the end and basically shoves it up her. Anyway, all right, let's let him respond here, and then we'll throw more 2 cents in here.
Senator Warren never lets the truth get in the way. If you actually look what I did, I've upset more crypto billionaires because I did her job. She sits on the banking committee. I exposed all this regulatory capture by former SEC chair, by the way, appointed by Donald Trump, and Bill Hinman, appointed by Donald Trump's administration. There was an IG report. I'm responsible for a lot of these conflicts. So I've upset more of the crypto billionaires than anyone. The largest crypto fund blocks me on social media. But here's the thing, her bill bans Bitcoin self-custody in America, yet she's allowing the banks to custody Bitcoin. Another example that Senator Warren's policies do not help poor people. They do not help the working class. She favors the accredited investor rule. That excludes 85% of the American population. Her policies absolutely hurt poor people. And I got in this race to give poor people an actual voice.
Rebuttal.
So
okay, she's gonna go back at this in a second here, but I think that's an important point. That's literally what crypto is meant to do. Help anybody who needs to be able to move money, do it without having to go beg a bank.
Right. And these people in the third world countries and everything else, they can't do banks, but they can do crypto. And I mean, he brought us some really, really great points in that just couple seconds right there. But
and we're gonna keep going, guys. I just and listen, don't forget, hit that like button, smash it up. I appreciate that. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and share this. I appreciate it. It helps to get the word out. And I know I've been a little lax in getting all my live streams out this week. I had a lot of personal stuff going on this week, so I'm doing my best, folks, doing my best. And because again, I'm a one-man band. And thanks to Joe for being here. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem,
man. All right, let's kick off the next section here, her rebuttal.
Well, I'm just trying to understand what Mr. Deaton's saying here. He's saying he has really made crypto folks mad, so mad that they came here to Massachusetts and are funding 90% of his campaign to try to take back this Senate seat, to take it away from me.
Okay, right there. That pisses me off. It ain't your Senate seat. It's the Senate seat for the people of Massachusetts. So if we want to take it back,
she's so entitled. She's so entitled from me, my seat.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. That part pissed me off. Anyway, sorry. Here we go.
I'm having a hard time putting those pieces together, but I will say this. Look, the banks have truly failed. a lot of poor people. It's part of the reason I fought so hard to get a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in place. It has now saved American consumers more than $15 billion that companies that cheated them had to return directly to those
And they
consumers.
still
So
do.
I'm all in favor of more restrictions on the bank. The latest one for
No, you're
me
not.
has been to go after them on overdraft fees, where folks like JP Morgan Chase were making more than $1 billion a year off people who were struggling making it day to day. I'm in those.
Joe,
They weren't
Let me
saying
ask-
anything before. They weren't complaining about all the fees before, but now, oh, let's make a point.
well, let me ask you a question. I don't know about you, but I still get hit with overdraft fees. Frig. Every time I go to the bank, I get some kind of fee. Is it just me? Is it just my bank, or do you get that too?
What I do is I tell the bank I don't want it. And they're like, oh, but it'll save you from embarrassment. Like, let's say you're going to the grocery
the
store,
overdraft
and
protection. Yep.
I said, if I don't have money for it, I don't have money for it. I don't want to go one day, because it's happened before,
Yep.
long time ago. Like, I would buy a candy bar and maybe a soda or something, I was on break, and then I'll get a fee of like $30 for a
Yeah.
$3, $4 thing. It's like, no way. So I would go to the bank and I would tell them, I said, I don't want this. Oh, but
Yep.
it's your protection. I said, it's not protection. It's
Yeah,
not
no.
protection from anybody.
fleecing
It's to
me.
give
You're
you money.
fleecing
It's to make these windows cleaner and larger. It's to make those furniture in the bank nicer and look whatever. It's to have you in nice suits. It's not my protection.
Exactly.
And but I mean, there are some times where you need it, and it's like, so I did usually kind of like cheat the system a little bit, where I would have like a $30 overdraft fee. So what I would do is I would I think it was like $500 over. I don't remember, or 800, or I don't remember how much it was, but let's just say it was 700. So what I would do is I would write a check for $700, and I would give it to my wife at the time. She would cash it, and it was good because I could be allowed overdraft that amount. So
Yes.
now I get a $30 charge for $700, and now I'm able to pay my bills that I need to pay, versus paying each bill and getting 30.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I used to
Yes.
do that.
Yes. Yes. And that was smart, to be honest, if you ask me. And listen, I've literally gone over pennies.
Yes.
Pennies.
Yes.
And then okay, I'm sorry, my math sucks, I get it, but and then I'm getting whacked with a $35 fee. It's
And the
like,
part
okay,
that I
thank you for
hate-
helping me.
The part that I hate is, let's say you have a renewal fee of $10, a renewal fee of $20, renewal fee of $15, renewal $5, all these other little ones, and then you make your car payment or your insurance, and it's like $300 or whatever it is. And even though these were done like 3 days ago, like this one comes in, they'll hit this one first,
And then
it's 30.
Yes.
Man, I called the bank. That happened to me a few years ago. I called the bank on that. I was like, what are you doing, guys? Like, this was done 3 days ago. I completely forgot about it. This one came in. Okay, fine. But I said, I'm not going to pay no 5 extra fees, $30 each. So they went and they took them all off. And they were cool and everything. I told them, I said, man, that's ridiculous.
Well, because they know they're basically screwing you.
Yeah.
They're bending you over the table right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring this back. I know I'm
That's why I don't like banks.
I was gonna say, can you tell how much I love banks?
Right.
All right, let's let her finish up, and then we'll go to John.
Fights, but I think crypto ought to have to follow the same rules as everybody else.
Briefly,
I
because
wish
I'd like to
Senator
move on.
Warren would attack inflation the way she attacks
love that.
crypto. I wish she would attack securing the border the way she's focused on crypto. You
Exactly.
know, she's so focused on crypto. She had the CEO of JP Morgan Chase available for questioning, and they had financed the largest child sex trafficking operation in history with Jeffrey Epstein. And Senator Warren didn't ask a single question. She wanted to talk about crypto because she's so hyper-focused. Now, I know that because I was raped as a child for a period of 2 years, I might be a little more sensitive to those child rape victims. But I want to ask Senator Warren, why would you not ask one question? JP Morgan Chase settled for $290 million to these rape victims.
Right.
They had to settle with the U.S. Virgin Islands. And Senator Warren doesn't ask a question. You want to know why? Because a former Democrat president's involved, because her donors are involved, because people that she knows are involved.
Because her ex-husband is on the list.
Loyalty to an agenda, loyalty to a party. I come in and I want transparency on everything. I'd like her to answer the question on behalf of all those rape victims, though.
Which she's not going to
look,
do. I'm going to
I
let
have
it run a
stayed
little
after
bit,
the
Joe,
banks.
unless you
I
want
have
me to
stayed
stop
after
it.
the regulators that regulate the banks. I have done everything I humanly can to try to get more fairness into our financial system. What I don't hear Mr. Deaton talking about is what is the return on investment
Here we go again.
that his crypto investors are expecting from having put millions of dollars into his race. Look, I'm all for having a crypto system. If people want to buy and sell crypto,
Again, what happened to the anti-crypto army? And notice how
Right.
she doesn't answer his question.
Yes.
Just completely bypasses that question.
Yes.
Okay, I might need some of your blood pressure medication, Joe.
all I want are just some basic fair rules, the same kind of fair rules that should apply to all of our financial institutions.
I do want to move on, but she
Sure.
asked a question of you, so go ahead.
Absolutely. Listen,
90%
I can't help.
This
I
is the
can't
one
help
on
it. Let
90%
me
of
finish,
your
please.
funding?
And you notice how she tries to pigeonhole him, which I think is kind of funny.
Right.
But I like the way he answers it and then boom, right by it.
Just
Let me
asking.
finish. I can't help it when she goes to ban an entire industry that they're motivated against her because they see a viable candidate. But listen,
Exactly.
the rules are already there.
Exactly.
Senator Warren, you notice she didn't answer the question about those rape victims. You know, you can't call yourself a absolute warrior for women if you only select the women you're willing to protect.
Amen.
You know, I really don't understand this charge, and I don't know what you're talking about here. I have pushed on the banks and tried to get
Again.
more regulation over the banks and tried to hold the banks accountable every single time they step out of line. Now,
Except
I
when
get
they
it.
fund
They're
Jeff- yeah.
big and they're
Every
powerful. Listen,
time they
I don't
step out of
take my
line.
money from the banking industry. I take my money from the people who want to support this campaign.
Yeah.
What I don't hear you talking about is what exactly do the crypto folks expect to get by funding 90%
You want to know
of your
something?
campaign?
Okay. All right. Just before he gets into his answer, because we've already said what we want. That's our ROA. Get the frick out of our face. That's our ROI. But like I love, again, she doesn't answer it. I love how she says the banking industry doesn't do anything for her, doesn't fund her. Bullshit. They literally, the banking association literally wrote your last bill. Literally wrote your last bill. So to say you're not in the pocket of banks that you, by the way, are in charge of regulating, come on. Like I said,
Yeah.
Can you pass me that blood pressure medication? Oh my God. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm not trying to step on you. You got anything you want to throw in there before we?
No,
okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Sorry. I like I said, can you tell it's
Same.
you know? Anyway,
Same.
here we go.
Everyone out there, I sued the government because the SEC had done something really bad to small retail.
And I just want to say I'm glad that he put this out there because, again, most people don't even know about crypto. But now they know not only a little bit more about crypto, but they know that this guy took on the government pro bono for free to represent XRP holders. And then he brings it around at the end and shoves it right up her. I love it.
Investors, and a lifelong Democratic judge agreed with me. I did it all pro bono, and this token XRP was called legal because of my work. I won Lawyer of the Year, Consumer Advocate of the Year, Defender of Freedom Award because I did it for free. And guess what? Last week, that crypto billionaire that she's talking about that has supported me just donated millions of this XRP token to Vice President Harris' campaign. If I didn't do what I did, sue the SEC on behalf of small retail investors, that donation to your candidate of choice, Senator, would not have happened. So, Madam Vice President, if you're watching, you're welcome.
I would like to move on.
I love her face there, kind of looking at the camera like, damn it, why did she have to get that donation? You know, that's the end of the section with regard to crypto. And yes, 100 AR, I literally need Joe's blood pressure medication right now. I really do.
Yeah, when I saw that, man, I was just shaking my head like throughout the entire thing, you know, whenever she spoke. And she just kept on and on. What are they going to get in return? No, it's, you know, that's the only thing she had. She had nothing. And I love how he said that, just one day, she woke up, it's like, forget the inflation, forget the border, forget, the government, forget like spending. Let's go ahead and focus on crypto. Why?
Because again, that was, if you remember that was part of Biden's whole, how I'm going to get money to pay for all this stuff. We're going to basically suck the
yeah. So yeah, Biden,
all these
just crazy.
people.
Yeah.
Did I freeze up?
Yeah, you did a little bit.
Sorry about that. Anyway, they were going to suck the taxes out of crypto. That,
right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Anyway, again.
But that's all they want to do. They want to regulate it so that they can tax and tax and tax like they do with fiat.
Yes.
And before, like, I didn't even realize, like, and it was so funny too. There's a TikTok or YouTube Shorts, I forget what it was, but there was a female, fairly young, maybe 18 or so, and she's understanding how money works. She's like, wait a minute. So when I get paid, I have to pay taxes. Well, taxes are already taken out of my paycheck.
Yeah.
Then I have to pay taxes on my paycheck, and then anything I buy, I have to pay taxes on. Like, how? Why? And like, I don't understand. And it's like, yep, welcome to being an adult.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Exactly. Now I got one more piece queued up because again, for those who have been on my channel, it's not about Democrat, it's not about Republican. It's because to be quite frank, they're two wings of the same bird. Okay, they flock together here. They fly together. Right. And John Deaton, to me, though he's running as a Republican, is more like, listen, I ain't gonna vote with you just because I'm a Republican. I got more common sense than that, and I'm okay with that. Heaven forbid, free thinker. But like, he calls out the entirety of the Senate and the Congress in this next clip, and I just want to play it again. It was in an earlier section of the debate, but it's worthy to listen to, and we'll just give it a quick listen, and it's like 10 seconds. Hold on one second here. Here we go. Is that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Senator Warren lives in this hyper partisan political world where she's defined by party. You notice it's Democrats are great, Republicans are bad. I got news for you, Senator. All of you suck in kind. All of you.
Exactly.
It's a broken system.
That's like perfect. You all suck. You know what I mean? And it's true. I mean, okay. In fairness, there are some politicians I think are very good on most topics. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who try to do the right thing for the American people overall and all that kind of thing. So, okay. But as a whole, if you're doing the broad brush, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do. They all suck. They just all suck. That is the end of that. I did have a couple other things I wanted to point out, like this right here. That was the first debate. The second debate between these two is tonight. Where is it? Right here. I just want to bring that up. That's tonight for the second debate here for the Senate. I think this is second, I want to say, and final. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure this is second and final. So for those who are in Massachusetts who watch my stream, make sure you're tuning in for that. Frankly, anybody who's involved in crypto should probably tune in. I don't know that crypto will be part of it again, but you want to know what? Good likelihood. So tonight, again, Joe, that's basically what I got. I mean, and for those who want to support John Deaton, I've already donated to him with crypto, DeatonForSenate.com. Matter of fact, let me bring the screen up so you can see what it looks like to make sure you get into the right place here. And you can donate in crypto, fiat, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's there. Matter of fact, link in the description, so you're going to the correct place. So FYI. Joe,
yes,
what do you think, bud? What do you think? Oh, crypto jar in the house.
It's going to be crazy. The next, it just depends on what happens in these next few years. I think it's going to depend on how fast crypto is actually adopted. Now, granted, we're hearing more about it in debates. We're seeing it with stadiums. We're seeing it with, banners of advertisement. We're seeing it in
Yes.
commercials, seeing it in Super Bowl commercials, seeing like it's coming around. And right now the government, like I said, they're just scared. They're trying to find a way so they can make money off of it and
have
just see
some
what happens.
control over it. Yeah, which
Yes.
is damn near impossible,
Yes.
bar you centralize it somehow. And Jar, and yeah, you missed the whole thing, Jar. You missed it, brother. You're gonna have to go back and watch it. Sorry. Yes, IoT King in the house. Yes, exactly. Joe, I really appreciate you being here today. I really, really do. And
Yeah, definitely, man.
Joe, tell everybody how do they go and see and get some info from you? Go.
Oh yeah. So if you want to learn how to trade in the most simplistic form without all the complicated terms, pattern memorization, memorizing candlestick patterns and everything else, follow me. I go live every day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Links in the description.
Link is in the description. I show you how to trade in a very easy way. So, and of course, I talk about the wins, I talk about the losses, I talk about stuff that a lot of other places don't talk about, and because they want to sell you something, they want to just put all the flashy 100% gainers and everything else so that you can join their group. I tell you from real experience, this is what to expect. It could do this or it could do this, and we'll see. So yeah.
And I just want to one other thing is during that about hour live stream that he does every day, if you got a question on a specific coin or token, he'll take it and he'll talk to you about it. He'll pull the chart up. So I mean, where can you get that for free? Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people too where they won't do charts unless you pay them. Give them a donation or whatever. And for me on my channel, like I literally ask you for charts, like show me. And there's sometimes where I'll see a chart like, man, I don't know what this one is. Let me look further into it, and then I'll show you how to do fundamental analysis, tokenomics, and this is stuff that you pay for in courses. Not only that, but there's courses that I've taken recently in reference to market structure. Now, of course, I knew about market structure and everything else, but not in this great detail. And so I've taken 2 courses the past like 2 months, a lot of money, and even with those 2 courses, very confusing. So what I'm actually doing is I'm breaking it down, and that's what I've been working on the past couple of days, is a PDF. Not only that, but I'm gonna be recording a video today to where I walk through it step by step. And these people,
that's awesome.
These people, because they know it, they just kind of like just brush through that real quick. But no, like the important part is this. Like if this doesn't happen, you cannot build your structure. But they don't stress that. They just blah blah blah, and they just continue going. It's like, so when I was doing my structure, like I would get feedback that, oh, it's wrong. You're doing internal structure versus external. It's like, how? Like what? I don't understand. But nobody could ever. And then finally, the light bulb turned. I was like, oh. And that's because I'm watching those courses again. And like, it was like, oh, he said it for like one time. It took like maybe 3 seconds. It's like, that's what he's okay. But for me, when I do my videos, I make sure to like stress it. You have to do this. If you don't, nothing else matters. Like this is vital. So that's how I do it. So yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you put out. That's awesome. That's great information. That's terrific. So every day, 3 p.m. Eastern time, link to Joe's channel in the description. Make sure you go and follow him if you have not already. For me, the rest of the week, of course, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto on the Rocks. Make sure you join in. You can come on, talk crypto, but more importantly, even if you want to stay in the chat, that's fine. No worries about that. You can do that, but you got to vote for what we're going to dollar cost average into. This last half 2024 DPIM projects are the thing. So make sure.
Yeah, so make sure to tune in, and it's a great time.
Up a little bit. I'm just saying. Oh, Jesus. Froze up again. Froze up again. I know. We need to shake it up there. So like make sure you're there to vote. And then let's see. One other thing I want to share for next week. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta find it. It's not in the normal spot. Here it is. next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Matrix Money Podcast, backed by popular demand, Daniel Diaz. We're going to be talking sound money. We're going to be talking about gold. We're going to be talking about silver. We're going to be talking about gold backs, you name it. We're going to be talking about it. And listen, I put out a couple of clips. One hit yesterday. Go check it out. And another one's going to be dropping in a couple of days that were just like little clips from our last interview with him. And it was a great interview. And I think that you need to see this one. So this coming Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Matrix Money Podcast. That's all I got for everybody. Appreciate you being here. Again, if you haven't already done so, smack up that like. I can see I got people on Facebook. Thumbs up. Appreciate that. And don't forget, subscribe if you're new. That's all I got. Joe, again, thank you for being here. Much appreciation. I really do. I appreciate you being here. Help me put this info out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate everybody. And just remember, guys, if you see coins going up, don't FOMO. If you see coins going down, don't panic. Have stop losses in place. Risk management is number one. And we're all gonna make money. We're gonna make a crap load of money. So if you're in crypto space right now, you're in a good spot. So
amen. All right, we're out. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Crypto on the Rocks.